What's a high body count then for a woman?
I actually mathematically wrote this on Twitter once as a joke. As a joke, I wrote down that an acceptable body count is 1 for every 2 years she ages past the age of 18. That's what I wrote on Twitter, because I thought about it, I typed it down. Is that true? No. Are there...
So by the time she's 30, she's only allowed to have had, what, 6 partners?
If you get to 30 and a woman says she has 6 partners, that's not high.
No.
It's not low, but that's not high. You wouldn't say this girl's a hoe, this girl's a slut, this girl's all the horrible names that, not me, all the horrible names that like red pill influencers and stuff use towards women. You wouldn't say a 30-year-old woman who's had sex with 6 men. You know, 2 years per... She's had a few failed relationships.
She might have really tried hard, fell in love, and the man binned her off, and she might have only ever had 1 partner.
I will, I guess, unapologetically say that there are some great women out there who tried to be with me. I was not in that place at the time, too busy building my business. I did sleep with them, you know, whatever, wasn't interested. And they're great girls, and they'll make someone a great wife one day. And they were, I guess, trying to be serious about me, but I wasn't that serious. And that doesn't make her bad.
No, they can't help that.
Yeah, exactly. She's not the bad person for sleeping with me. No. So, yeah, I wrote that down on Twitter, on X, as a joke, but it's kind of good math. The math kind of adds up. Whereas if she's 20 and she says 6, you'll be like, ooh, when did you, what, so at maybe 18, you started 6 in 2 years? That's quite quick.
But three in a year, is that a lot?
I don't know, and there are no rules to this. There really are no rules to this. And there are no...
Society's a bit different, isn't it?
Well, society's different, and also I don't try to police people's behavior. So what I say is an acceptable body count, I expect everybody here who's watching, who maybe doesn't agree with me, to raise their middle finger to the screen and say, this guy, who is he to judge what my body count is and isn't? And I completely agree, but if I get married, she's gonna have a body count under 2 or 3.
All right,
so that's just my own personal preference, and I'm allowed to have my preference too.
You are.
So, piss off.
So, okay, so you find someone, her body count's 3.
Yep.
She's the right age for you.
Yeah.
You fall in love with her.
Yeah.
Everything is there, and then you find out it was 12. What happens? But you're in love with her.
Yeah, I wouldn't marry her, but not.
No, but you already had. And then you found out. Yeah,
I'd already
fallen in love with her. You married her. Everything's there, and then someone told you, no, her body count's not 3.
It's 12.
It's 12 or it's 15, and the only reason she lied to you is because she loved you, and she knew because of this podcast that you would never have got with her if she'd have told the truth.
Interesting. You know, I've had girls like that. I've had girls who pretended to be good girls, and but the thing is with me is, like with if a man's drank coffee from 1,000 different places, he knows what good coffee is and bad coffee is. I really can't be lied to as easily as most people. I kind of know. I have a feel for it early on. I can just kind of tell, and it's not that hard to find out about people, especially when they're from the same town or city as you. It's really not hard. So I have a very good feel for it. So I like to think that would be very hard to do, because every time it's happened to me, I start dating a girl, she tells me a story about her past, blah, blah, blah. I notice things don't add up very quickly, and I'm just like, well, why would you bullshit me? And what I always do in those circumstances, and I guess I'd do the same if I was married, is stop talking to them. Because it's not about the actual body count, it's about the dishonesty of pretending to be someone that you're not. I had a girl recently, I'll say she's Polish, she doesn't matter. But anyway, she comes and meets me, we go out, have dinner and stuff, and blah, blah, blah. She comes back to Romania to meet me again for the second time, and I found out she's an OnlyFans model who I wouldn't care, naked pictures, look, it's page 3, don't care. But it was like full on having sex with people OnlyFans. And I was just like, well, why didn't you tell me that? Like, I'm not that mad, because hanging out with you and sleeping with you sometimes is like, fine, I was never gonna marry you, but the fact that you tried to sell yourself off as a different product. No, I'm not fun material, I'm wife material. The fact that you tried to do that, I'm just like, well, I don't really wanna see you anymore. It instantly put me off. Does that make sense? So yeah, I'd have to stop talking to them. It's the dishonesty I can't take. Same with friends. If I met a friend and if I found out the background story of any of my guys, the people here, if I found out they glaringly, obviously lied about something, I'd be like, well, why did you lie? I don't get what you were trying to do. Your intentions when you met me obviously were dishonest. If you met me and you were hanging out with me, and next week it turns out that me and Andrew have never had any money, our dad's not dead, and he's an oil billionaire, you'd immediately think, well, fuck those two. Because they've sold me an image of themselves and have tried to come across as genuinely these people when they weren't. And that's it. So I'd have to cut her off. Yeah, I'd divorce her.
Yeah, wow.
My dad is not an oil billionaire, and he is dead, and I did make all my own money. So just FYI. But it's an example.
So I don't really normally talk about these things on my podcast because I'm more interested in business and money.
Understood.
So that's why I'm going to carry on talking about it.
Let's do it.
Because this is fun and different.
Why not?
So just let me throw you another hypothetical situation. You've got a smart, sassy, challenging, intellectual, hot woman. And because she has a body count of 20, she's got an amazing amount of life experience that maybe someone with a body count of 2 or 3 wouldn't have had. She really knows how to please a man and she can do shit in bed but someone with a body count of 2 or 3 just can't do.
I know lots of women like that.
Okay, but you're still not marrying that person.
No, I'll call them on Friday nights. That's what. And the thing is, I'm not speaking as myself today. I'm not speaking as myself, you know, because I'm not such a womanizer anymore. I'm taking the old mindset I used to have and applying, because I know the example. 5 names come to mind when you name that person.
I mean, that's a very compelling woman, isn't it?
So all I do is think into the past and what did I do at that time? I just hung out with them sometimes. It was fun. That's it. Use protection. No one gets hurt. No big deal. Well, I didn't know what the issue was, but I didn't understand what the issue was. If anyone had an issue with it, it's mine and her private life, and everyone gets off. But yeah, I can think of people like that. And my answer is just no, I never thought of marrying them. They were fun to have around, and that's exactly what I did.